You know what's funny? Most of us spend our entire lives racing people who don't even know we're competing with them. The guy trying to break 3 hours in the marathon, the entrepreneur trying to hit six figures, the dad trying to provide more than his father did, the podcaster chasing downloads, the runner chasing a PR. The problem is every time we catch the person in front of us, we immediately look for someone else to chase. And that's why so many people arrive at their goals feeling empty, because the race they thought they were running wasn't actually their race. Today, we're going to talk about the race that nobody talks about, the one happening between your ears. Cue that intro music.
Who says you need to fly to reach the top? Keep beating your block till your feet are hot. Get your head out the sand, join the flock. It's okay to run scared, we enjoy the lie.
Welcome back to the Ostrich Running Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Meraz, and today we're talking about something that has absolutely nothing to do with splits, heart rate zones, race strategies, or electrolyte intake. Although somehow it has everything to do with running. Because after years of chasing races, building a business, starting a podcast, failing at things, succeeding at things, and failing again, I started to realize that most of us are running the wrong race. So let's talk about it. But before we do, if you're listening to this and you have not rated or reviewed this show yet, shame on you. Please go do that. You can do it while you're listening to the show. The algorithm appreciates it. We appreciate it. You help us reach new audiences that didn't even know this show existed because, as I mentioned in the opening monologue, it's all about a podcaster chasing downloads. Also, I want to take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsors, us, Ostrich Running. We have some new products on the website. We still have the Salty 6-pack for ostrich salt samples for you to try. We've got some new products coming in soon. Make sure you get a cold shoulder ice bandana for this heat that's coming up. Sorry, we don't have the warming bandanas yet for those of you who are still in cold places. I can't do that. I'm sorry. But, you know, we live in Southern California, so I only think about heat. The next sponsor that I'd like to thank is Alethea. Our partners at Alethea have created a running sensor that fits in the palm of your hand. It gives you so much data and insight. It's like a running lab, one of those big running labs just right in your home. And it's affordable and you will love it. I've been using it for over a year now, and I swear that this thing has changed the way that I strength train, the way that I run, to make sure that I can see improvements happening in real time. Please go check out alethea.run and use promo code RUNSCARED10 for your discount. It's already affordable, but please go check it out. You will not be disappointed by the data insights that you get on this sensor. All right, so let's get into it. The first race we learn to run, right? When's the first time that you actually compared yourself to somebody else? For me personally, it was probably in school, playing on the schoolyard and seeing somebody who was better at soccer than I was. And I knew that I had to, be able to compete. I had to be able to really beat old Billy, who lived in the trailer down the street from wherever I was. But that's kind of like the early times that I remember really competing and having a race against myself. The next that I would probably say that was easy for me to identify was when that kid came to school with a Game Boy, right? You're like, man, I wish I had a Game Boy. And then the color Game Boy came out and, oh my gosh, man, now they have a color gaming system in their pocket. I gotta get that. Comparison and racing and trying to compete has been with us for most of our lives, even in that sibling rivalry. You see two kids who are close in age, always competing, always getting out of one another. It's just, it's out there. It's pretty much how we live our lives. It's been something that we've all experienced at some point or another. So it's programmed early, right? We're ranked, we're measured, we're tested, we're compared. Now, I remember thinking like in this last race, if I beat this person, I'm winning, right? If I can get to this podium level, I'm winning. I'm doing something good. But what if that guy was racing for something completely different than the finish line? What if that guy had his own set of problems at home or, challenges that he endured in his life, and that race was something completely different to that individual? We all have a different race that we're trying to compete. Just like my first marathon, right? I wanted to push the limits. I wanted to cross that finish line and feel some sort of emotional release. And when I crossed it, I didn't really feel satisfied. I didn't really feel like I was at the end goal and I could look for the next challenge, right? I just wondered if I could go further. What else could I do? It just never really stopped. I needed that win, like I mentioned before, something that was quick, short, that I could achieve in a short amount of time. And I say this with a grain of salt because some people train their whole lives to complete that distance. So, again, we're not running each other's races, but I needed something to hold me over until I finished school, right? 4 years, 6 years seemed like an eternity away. Now starting this company, I feel like I'm in a constant race, looking at what other companies are doing, looking at ads that I see come across the screen on social media. And how are they able to do this? How are they able to have this many products? How are they able to have a following and a bunch of purchasers coming at the rate that they're accomplishing? Why am I not there? What do I need to be doing differently? It's this race, right? I thought crossing certain finish lines would permanently change how I felt about myself, right? I thought doing the marathon, doing the 50 mile, doing the 100 mile, getting to the next level of where I was with Ostrich running, I thought all of this stuff would permanently change these feelings that I feel inside. And honestly, they don't. They still don't. And that feeling lasts a day, a week, a month. Sometimes I don't even understand what it is that I'm chasing with Ostrich. But I am often reminded when I get the feedback from episodes, from content, that it is bigger than just a measured goal. It's something that is immeasurable. It is building a relationship with the community, going out there, rooting other people on, watching other people overcome challenges. It's not really the goal within myself or the challenge within myself that is the main purpose. So I oftentimes have to remind myself that we're all running different races, because it's really easy to have that dream that you had in your life become normal life surprisingly fast, right? And we see this, we get a lot of our goals through social media. There's that social media trap. Instagram makes it look like everyone is crushing in life. That is exactly what it's for, to show you at your best. And, we have a lot of people out there who are really transparent and open about their failures. But I'll tell you what, some of the footage that they put out is amazing. Like the life that they get to live, running these crazy races, running these crazy distances, flying here, flying there, getting to do all of these fun things. And we look back at our lives and we compare, because it's been ingrained in us. I mean, something as small as, and it's not small because it's a huge accomplishment and it's super fast, but the runner who sees a sub 3 hour marathon, somebody like me, the entrepreneur who sees, revenue screenshots, or the parent who sees perfect families in a perfect home that's all clean. You can look behind me now, and we built out this room because we knew that we needed to finally up our game up for this podcast. But if you were to see the camera on this side, there's still boxes that need to be unpacked because we're moving rooms. These lives that we see online are not always the full picture. And if I turn this camera around, you would see the full picture of a closet filled with product, but it actually is finally organized now. So I really am pretty excited about this. I can't wait to do more episodes in here, but that's besides the point, right? the reality is that everyone is showing highlights. Nobody posts the panic attacks. Nobody posts the sleepless nights, the depression. Nobody posts really like the struggles, the internal struggles that one feels when they're running a race against other people. The best way to explain it is we're out here comparing our behind the scenes footage of a movie to somebody else's actual movie trailer. It's crazy, right? So I know people who run 100 miles. I know people who are terrified to run one. And honestly, I'm not sure one deserves more respect than the other, because courage is relative. For one person, 100 miles. For another, walking around the block. We've had a guest on here, Tyson Black. He started walking, just walking, because he knew that that was the most movement he could get. And eventually that turned into a 50-mile race, running across the state of Tennessee. For another person, like myself, could be starting a business, getting sober, going back to school, being a better father, getting therapy. The distance, it's not what matters. The willingness to start is what matters. And I'm seeing that, I'm noticing that as I say this out loud. This brand, this Ostrich Running, is not about building the best runners out there. That's part of your goal. I want to be a part of that journey, but it's more than that. It's deeper than that. It's about getting people to start chasing their goals, to start moving towards something, to just be that initial push to get out the door, whatever it may be. And yes, running has a lot to do with it, because running has taught me a lot about building consistency, getting out there when you don't want to, sending emails, putting pitches together, editing podcasts, trying to find ways to make it fail, right? This stuff gets so hard on the day-to-day grind, but what has helped me push through this is the ability to pull lessons I learned from running. So if running has taught me lessons that will help me build my life, that's something I want to be a part of. That thing I want to share with this community. If it helps you become an elite runner, I want to be a part of that. The race I'm running right now, Ostrich Running, the podcast, who knows, where this brand will go. It's all reliant on the community. It is a community-driven brand. The podcast is a community-driven project. Everything I do is me putting myself out there and hoping the community accepts and embraces it. And, what is a form of success, right? With something like this? Is it one purchase? Is it one follow, one download? Is it a million purchases, a million downloads, a million followers? And that's hard to really comprehend or to measure, right? Because you look at the big numbers and the big end result. Yeah, that's easy to say. Of course, that's a win. But we have to oftentimes look at what it is that where we started and make that appreciation to where we are. So this started out as an idea. This started out as just another little project to talk with other runners out there. And relative to where we started to where we are is an incredible feat. It's huge. It has grown so much. Making sales to all over the country, even though it's maybe one or two, it's still a huge accomplishment. Yeah, I'm not Nike. I'm not Satisfy. I'm not any of those things, but I'm still moving, right? I'm not standing on top of the mountain trying to give advice. I don't have everything figured out. I'm still building this. I'm still trying to figure out running. I'm still trying to figure out the brand. I'm still trying to figure out the podcast. But maybe that's why I wanted to record this episode, because listeners often assume that hosts have all the answers. I'm asking the same questions as you are. How do I get faster? How do I run longer? How do I run without pain? How do I start a business? How do I wake up in the morning and not be sad? How do I push somebody else to achieve greatness? All of these are questions that I think all of us have together. So, people often misunderstand the run scared motto. They think it means fearless. It doesn't. Fearless people don't exist. Everyone is scared of some point. Veterans, business owners, elite athletes, parents, everyone. Run scared means fear gets a vote. It just doesn't get the final decision. So if you're listening to this and you think, I'm behind in my speaking, behind in my life, behind in everything that I've tried to accomplish, you're always comparing yourself to somebody else, you feel like you're losing, maybe you're not behind. Maybe you're measuring your progress against someone else's finish line. Maybe the race isn't against the guy on Instagram. Maybe it isn't your coworker. Maybe it isn't against the runner in front of you. Maybe it isn't even against the version of yourself that keeps trying to convince you not to start. Because that's the race that nobody talks about. And if you can beat that voice, well, you'll win more often than you lose. And I know that this was a quick episode, short, but I just want to thank you for being a part of this. I hope this episode and this little rant resonated. I wish we could have done something a little longer today, but like I said, sometimes life happens. We don't have all the answers. We try to roll with what we can, but I wanted to come on this week to at least let everybody know and remind them that your race that you're running in life, whether metaphorically or physically running, isn't everybody else's race. So if your goal in your race is the podium, keep going, keep pushing. If your race is to just change, rewire your way of thinking, keep doing it. Don't look at the person who's already rewired their brain or going to where you want to be or showing you all the good side of things, right? Understand that everybody has a persona or something that we display publicly and something else that is going on behind closed doors. It is all of our own individual lives, but we can also share what we've been through to help that next person through whatever challenges they may be going through. I just want to make sure that you keep showing up, you keep moving forward, and remember that you don't have to be fearless. You just have to keep running scared. Thank you all for tuning in week after week. When I don't come out with the longest episodes, for those of you who have rated and reviewed the show, I really appreciate you. Please share it with anybody that you would think that would enjoy this show. Introduce Ostrich Running to them. You know, this is a community brand. It's all of us involved. We're all here to lift each other up, and I appreciate the support from everybody. Until next time, cue that outro music.
Who says you need to fly to reach the top? Keep beating your block till your feet are hot. Get your head out the sand, join the flock. It's okay to run scared, we enjoy it a lot. I'm an odd kid, like an ostrich. I got a pod, kids, here's a topic. Blaze your own trail, don't be cautious. 2 birds, 1 stone's how I rock it. Can't make an omelet without breaking a shell. But they say grew up, now I'm raising hell. Haters gonna hate, yeah, they pray and you fail. So put in the work, whether pavement or trail. The grades fell down, but they got to their feet. Run your own race, put this pod on repeat. Shake your tail feather, keep nodding your beaks. Ostrich gang, or you're not my peeps. Who says you need to fly to reach the top?